There's no official definition of the middle class. But Alan Kruger, chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, he said the percentage of households with annual incomes within 50% of the median household. $50,000, median income, 50% above, 50% below. If you're in the top 1%, you're earning at least $380,000 a year. If you're at the lower end of this group, you're probably at the top levels of the professional fields, a top doctor or a top lawyer. Higher in this group, earning several $1 million a year, are successful entrepreneurs who start profitable companies. At the highest levels, earning $10 million a year or more, are the CEOs of big companies, the heads of Wall Street banks, top entertainers, and also the top sports stars.
Last year, we made $36,000, and we're a family of 3.
I think I probably make in between $45,000 and $50,000 a year, working 70 hours a week, 6 days a week.
Combined income with the Army and with my personal job, maybe $55,000 to $60,000 a year.
Probably close to $600,000.
Usually more than 10 million, less than 30 million. But, you know, a lot, a ridiculous amount of money. I am an entrepreneur and venture capitalist.
My family owns a large manufacturer of bed pillows and down comforters called Pacific Coast Feather Company. We are, in fact, one of the largest manufacturers of those things in the world. The problem with rising inequality is a person like me who earns 1,000 times as much as the typical American doesn't buy 1,000 pillows a year. Even the richest people only sleep on 1 or 2 pillows. The pillow business is quite tough, as it is for many, many industries, because fewer and fewer people can afford to buy the products that we make. I have the nicest Audi you can get, but it's still only one Audi. I personally hate fancy food. I would infinitely rather go have a great bowl of pho at the local Vietnamese place than a 5-course, $300 dinner at some fancy place. You know, we can only go out to eat so many times a year. We can only get so many haircuts a year. We can only get, you know, 3 pairs of jeans will do you. You know, like, you don't need 300 pairs.
And the problem isn't that the rich spend too much of what they earn. It's actually, paradoxically, that they spend too little. They're not generating enough economic activity. Somebody earning $10 million a year doesn't spend $10 million. They save it. And those savings go anywhere around the world they can make the most money, get the highest return. They become part of the global capital market, including a lot of speculative instruments. I mean, gold and real estate and anything else that they're all chasing.
With the exception of the money I personally invest to start companies, I have essentially no idea what happens to my money. I invest in funds of funds, and those hedge funds do God knows what with it. But I do believe absolutely that most of the return that's being created isn't creating any kind of social utility other than creating a return for me.
And ordinarily, we like saving. I mean, savings are good, but when we have so much unemployment, so much underutilized capacity here in the United States, we need spending.
Every single person there has to process 12 units per hour.
How are we going to create jobs if you're taxing the very successful people in America who provide those jobs?
Those are the job creators. By the way,
sometimes we think that this is a debate over facts and figures and data.
To raise taxes on the job creators in this country.
I think if you believe that, you're fooling yourself a little bit.
The people that you call rich, I call job creators.
When somebody calls themselves a job creator, they're not describing the economy or how the economy works, although that's what it sounds like. What they're really doing is making a claim on status, privileges, and power. If a guy like me is a job creator at the center of the economic universe,
the current economic arrangements are righteous and justified.
I know how comfortable this is to believe because I used to believe it. You know, I grew up kind of believing that. You know, and when people challenge that idea, I would say things like, well, you just don't understand economics.
But of course, if rich business guys like me are not job creators, it's actually our customers that are the job creators. We are not the center of the economic universe. They are.
We need to replace trickle-down economics with middle-out economics. And indeed, every place you look on Earth where you find prosperity, you find massive investments in the middle class and the poor. Because at the end of the day, they are the true job creators. The most pro-business thing you can do is to help middle-class people thrive.